Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about communication that makes women pursue you. So firstly, there's a bit of an obvious point that I want to give to you, right? And that is, if you want her to start pursuing you more and you're figuring out a way how you can communicate in such a way that can make her pursue you more, then the best thing to do is to make her do most of the texting, the calling, and things like that. You got to do less communication if you want her to be doing more of it and you want her to start pursuing you more. So obviously this kind of thing only works on a woman that's already attracted to you, that already likes you. Or it could be the case that it's a woman that perhaps you've been on a couple of dates with and you've started to see that she's losing a bit of interest. So all you need to do is just, in that kind of situation, is just back off and communicate less so she has to communicate more, right? So especially in terms of dating, this is how you make a woman more attracted to you, to make her pursue you more, is just by doing a lot less than what she is. So, what you got to do is you got to look at your phone and you got to see who's initiating the conversations, who is writing the longer messages, who is writing the more frequent messages. And if that's you, let's say you're doing it more than her, then you're the one that's pursuing. And if you want her to pursue you, then you need to back off and start doing less than what she is, okay? So that's one way how you can do that. And probably the most effective, especially if you're still in those fragile days at the beginning where things could easily slide and they could easily lose attraction for you, especially if you have been over pursuing and doing too much. So if you want to turn that situation around, you've just got to do way less than what she is, okay? So another thing that will make a woman pursue you and be more attracted to you is not so much financial stability, because I feel like some people complain about that, especially a lot of men. They think that all the women just want financial stability, which is not true. I mean, there are women out there that like that. Trust me, there are many women like that. But there's also many women as well that don't really care too much about financial stability. They care more about the man's, or the woman's, as the case may be, emotional stability. Like, how stable are you emotionally within yourself? Are you a calm person? Because if you're more emotional than what she is, she's not going to find you attractive, and she's going to be able to tell that by the way that you communicate with her. Like, if you're over pursuing, you're getting too emotional, more emotional than what she is, that is basically screaming to her that you're someone who has less emotional stability. So you want to be calm, right? You want to be stoic. You want to be like, I hear a lot of women complimenting their husbands and things like that. And they say that when they talk about, especially husbands that they're in love with, that they're not having any issues with, right? They say things like, "Oh, he is my rock," right? "I don't know why I do without him." He, like, and the way that I've always seen that is like they're a good like shoulder to lean on. They make her feel safe and comfortable. That's the best way to, I can kind of describe it, is in, that's how you've got to, kind of like, that's how you've got to put yourself across, as very stable, like a rock, very solid, right? Emotionally solid. Like, you're not going to fly off the handles, being too emotional about something. It doesn't mean that you're never sad. It doesn't mean that you don't never have emotions. It just means that you do it a lot less than what she does, and you don't fly off the handles at really silly little things, right? Because if you're going through, because one of the reasons why women are attracted to this is because, life is very turbulent. Anything could happen. A relative could die. There could be some sort of like financial problem. You could lose your job, that she could lose her job, things like that. So when basically these sorts of things happen, these terrible things that life throws at us every so often, and if you're not going through anything bad right now, something's on its way. That's how life is. It's very up and down. But through the ups and downs of life, they want a man who is stable, who is not going to fly off the handles, who isn't going to get too emotional about it. Or if you do get emotional about it, you can recenter yourself and be strong again, basically. And like I said, it doesn't mean that you don't have issues. It doesn't mean that you don't have problems. It doesn't mean that you're never sad or upset or angry, right? It just means that, when these things do happen, you do get upset and you do get angry, you know how to control yourself and you know how to transmute that energy. So for example, if you're really angry about something that's happened to you, then what you do then to expel that anger is you go to the gym and you go and punch a bag for a while, or you take a moment, you go into your man cave and you stew over it for a little while and you think about it, right? But what you don't want to do is you don't want to express too much of this basically in front of your wife or girlfriend or whoever it is that you may be dating, right? You don't want to be like just going complaining like, oh God, I can't believe this happening, da, da, da. You don't want to be flying off the handles basically in your rage. You want to, obviously they know that you have emotions and you know that you get angry, and sometimes it might come across in your voice if you're angry or upset about something. But all that matters is you don't stay there and you don't go crazy about it, right? You don't, like I said, like you don't emotionally fly off the handles and derail yourself. You know how to deal and handle your emotions, and you can remain stable even in times when you're upset and angry. You know how to recenter yourself when frustrations happen, right? And most people that are emotionally secure, including women as well, know how to recenter themselves after something bad has happened, or they've got upset, or they've got angry about something, right? And you should be looking for this sort of thing in a woman as well, someone who is emotionally stable. Now of course, the stereotypical sort of woman, tends to be more emotional than the typical man, right? Obviously that's a stereotype, but generally across the board, women tend to be more emotional than men. But even those women who are healthy, even though they get more emotional than the man, still know how to recenter themselves and get better. They know, and things like that. So emotional stability is really, really crucial, and I don't think it's talked about that often as well. But you've got to be stable emotionally, and that is much more attractive than financial stability, because you hear about women that are, let's say, like bought from foreign countries by old rich men and things like that. These women are never happy, and people, basically, if a woman is looking for you for financial stability, then that's not the woman for you, basically. You don't want to be with a woman like that anyway. And I can guarantee it that not all women are looking for financial stability, right? Emotional stability and finding a man that's not going to fly off the handles, that knows how to recenter himself when things go wrong, that's way more attractive to her, because that'll make her feel safe. And women want to feel safe around men, because obviously men are a lot bigger, a lot more stronger than women. A lot of people may not like me for saying that, but most of the time, I know you can get a strong woman that may be stronger than some men, but most of the time, across the board, men are more stronger than women. It's just how it is. Sorry, it's just how it is. And obviously, there's a level of threat there for a woman, to be in the presence of a man who's incredibly strong, much more stronger than her, that could easily overpower her. So the best thing for a woman to feel around a man is safe. And if you are emotionally stable, she will trust you and she will love you, basically, right? And it's more easier for her to fall in love with a man that she feels safe around, as opposed to a man that could fly off the handles, go into a rage, or start weeping, and having a hysterical breakdown. Right? Now, of course, it may be the case that sometimes something so terrible may happen where you might be in a situation where you may have a breakdown, right? But you know how to get yourself help, and you know how to get yourself better when that kind of thing does happen. And, as long as it's not happening every week, then I don't think she'll care that much about you doing that. It won't make her lose all attraction for you, basically. But if you can communicate in a way that shows that you are emotionally stable, that you are calm, and you're strong in that kind of way, and you know how to recenter yourself when things go wrong, she will feel safe around you, and she will find that incredibly attractive. So another way to communicate with women that will make them pursue you is if you become a great listener, right? Because if you're always talking too much about yourself and you're not really listening to the girl that you're on a date with or the woman who you're in a relationship with, you know, it shows that you don't care that much, basically. And because women generally communicate more, they talk more. I don't know the exact figures, but you know, they once calculated, there was once a statistic, and they calculate how many words a man says during a day and how many words a woman says in a day. And obviously the woman said way more than what the man did in this certain statistic. So women tend to talk a lot more, so they like to talk a lot more. And what a man needs to do is he needs to learn how to listen to her. And what's great about that is that you don't have to do anything. You don't have to think about topics to talk about, right? You know, because she will mostly do most of the talking, right? So all you need to do is ask good quality questions and listen to her, and really listen to her. Because I see a lot of men go wrong, especially when they're in a relationship. They kind of let things slide a little bit, and they're not really listening or giving their presence to the woman. You know, they may be focusing more on the TV than on her when she's talking, you know. So being able to like shut off basically whatever you're doing and turn to her and give her your full attention is going to, you know, give you a lot of success when it comes to communicating with women, because you're engaging and it looks like you're engaged because you've stopped what you're doing basically just to listen to her, and that'll show that you care, and it'll show that you're a good communicator. But of course as well, you actually have to listen. You may hear what she's saying, but are you listening to what she's saying? Are you understanding what she's saying? And sometimes, you know, I find this really difficult. But one of the best ways that I do this, and what I find is effective, is when my wife is telling me a story about her day or about something that happened to her in her past that she just wanted to talk about, like a memory that she just had. Then what I do is I kind of, while I'm listening to her, I picture what she's saying in my head as if someone was telling me a story. And that helps me not only listen really well, but it helps me remember the information that she's told me in case this topic is brought up in a future time, and she's like, oh, do you remember when I told you about this? You know, and you know, that's a tough question, right? Because if you don't, and she definitely has said it to you, she's going to know you weren't listening the first time around. So you got to listen to what she says, because you never know when it's going to be brought up again, right? So that's one of the ways that helps me. You know, you got to learn to be a good listener, and she'll love it and she'll love you for that. Because I think a lot of men go wrong sometimes with their women when the women come to them and they basically just want someone that will listen to them, but instead the man tries to fix it, right? He tries to give her a solution to her problem, but she doesn't want a solution a lot of the time. A lot of the time she just wants to chat. You know, and women are like that. Sometimes they don't want a conclusion. Sometimes they don't want the problem to be fixed. They just want to chat about it. They just want to talk about it, because that's how they personally resolve things within their own head and within their emotions. You know, typically men, they like solutions. They like to fix things. They like something, they like a quick how-to, a quick tutorial on how to deal with whatever problem they're facing so they can get it over with and done. Or sometimes they just like to think about it by themselves while they're going fishing or watching TV, or they go in the man cave, whatever, right? And that is how they deal with it, right? Typically, not all the time. I know a lot of men do like to communicate and talk a lot, but most of the time, men tend to be more people that are solution orientated and want to fix whatever the thing is. Basically, so they can start relaxing again. Like, oh my God, this problem's come up. I need to fix it now so I can relax. Whereas women are not like that. They like to talk about it. They may even like to talk about it to you. They may want to talk about it to their mother and their sister. They may want to talk about it to their best friends. They may want to talk about the same thing again to their colleagues at work. You know, they like to just talk about it. They don't all the time. They don't want a solution, but sometimes they do. And if you're wondering if your girlfriend or your wife wants a solution, then just say, would you like me to listen to this, or would you like my opinion? Would you like me to try and help you fix it? You know, and see what she says. And if she wants you to fix it, or she wants your opinion, she will say so. Okay, so another way that you can communicate that will make a woman pursue you is if you find her interesting and you find what she says fascinating, and you're always asking questions about her, then she will find you fascinating. It's like the golden rule, you know, what you do onto others, others will do onto you. So, you know, if you want this woman to find you interesting, then find her interesting. Ask her questions about herself. Ask her about her day. Ask her about her family. Ask her about the things that she likes. You know, and find out about what she likes to talk about. you know, because people will love you. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or a friend that you're trying to make, or a boss, or that you're trying to impress. If you find what they find interesting, then they will find you interesting and they will really like you. So find out what she's interested in, find out what she loves to talk about, find out what she's passionate about and could talk for hours about, right? When you find that, ask her questions about it, and because you're showing that interest in her, she will become more interested in you. But of course, if you're hoping for something romantic, she also has to be attracted to you. I'm not saying this will work on every single woman you come into contact with, because not every woman is going to be attracted to you, but you may get a good friendships out of it as well. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.